Try to memorize a grocery list of 50 random items. Without any categories or aisles to guide you, it's just a wall of text that refuses to stick. This happens because of the biological limits of our short-term memory. When absorbing raw, unorganized data, we hit a wall of cognitive overload, like stuffing a year's worth of loose paperwork into a single drawer. We see this clearly when looking at regional geography, specifically the protected wildlife areas across Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. This map shows dozens of long names pinned across hundreds of miles. To a beginner, it looks like a scattered, overwhelming puzzle with no clear starting point. However, you can navigate this entire map by applying 3 specific layers of organization to the data. Effective memorization relies on finding the internal logic and structural patterns already hidden within the names. Let's start by narrowing our focus. We will temporarily set aside the smaller sanctuaries and look only at the 5 major national parks. To lock these 5 locations into place, use the phrase, "My mother always grows guavas," M-M-A-G-G. The first 2 M's represent Mukurthi and Mudumalai, both located in the mountainous northwest. The A leads us to Anamalai, just a bit further south along the same range. Finally, the 2 G's point us to Gwindi on the coast near Chennai and the Gulf of Mannar at the southern tip. A simple sentence about fruit provides a permanent mental shelf for these 5 geographic locations. Next, we can identify the tiger reserves using the acronym SMASK, S-M-A-S-K. S stands for Satyamangalam, while the M and the A are names we've already seen, Mudumalai and Anamalai. Mudumalai and Anamalai are designated as both national parks and tiger reserves. By learning them once, you've already checked off nearly half of the reserve list. The final S and K cover the southern reserves, Sri Villiputhur Meghamalai and Kalakad Mundantharai. The acronym acts as a compression tool, turning 5 long local names into a single 5-letter word that's much easier to retrieve. That leaves over 20 wildlife and bird sanctuaries, which create the most visual noise on our map. We can sort through this remaining list by looking for specific linguistic patterns in the names themselves. In Tamil, the suffix kulam refers to a tank or a lake. When you see names like Kanjirankulam or Kunthankulam, the name is telling you that these are water-based bird sanctuaries. Other areas are named for the specific animals they protect, like the slender loris or grizzled squirrel sanctuaries. These names act as their own labels, removing the need for guesswork. Understanding a single suffix and looking for literal names turns a random dot into a descriptive clue. Let's test this system on a blank map of the state. To find the national parks, you recall the guavas. The 5 dots appear almost instantly. For the tiger reserves, you use SMASK, and the next layer of the map fills in. Finally, spotting a kulam suffix tells you exactly where the bird sanctuaries are located. By categorizing these dots into these 3 layers, the original wall of data has been sorted into a functional mental filing system. Even a map this dense becomes manageable once you identify the internal logic used to name and classify its various parts.